if you aren't really careful with radiant heat, you just made a bomb.
It's true. When Lance and I were first married, we lived in a house. It was a beautiful old house, but it still had a boiler and radiators, and we nearly blew ourselves up.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Hey, and welcome to Middle Ground Books After Hours.
My name's Megan.
I'm Deborah.
And I'm Lance. Thanks for joining us this evening. We have had just a crazy time, and this week we are recording a podcast early because of things that have come up in life, and so we're not at all prepared. Even
that
less...
implies that we normally
Are
are.
we ever prepared? I feel like, I'm not. I don't know about y'all, but...
Yeah, we had, I think we had some pretty good... I had some pretty good ideas, you know.
Share. We're listening.
Well, no, I already talked to you guys about maybe doing a Go to Hell episode where we talk about, like, Dante's Inferno and C.S. Lewis's The Great Divorce. And
I bet we could find some books about near-death experiences as well.
And there's, like, the five people you meet in heaven. Is there one, like, equivalent 5 people you meet in hell?
I don't know that book, but...
Isn't it there like a 5 people?
Yeah, it's the 5 people you meet in heaven, but I don't know that there's one about the other place.
Not
as far as I know.
We could tap into our knowledge from the Good Place TV show.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good show. Such a good show.
So kind of the leaping off place. So this is another one of our random ones, like the Bigfoot spam episode.
We got lots of positive feedback. And one person who was like, it was so random, but I know you guys, so I loved it. I don't know how to take that.
So I thought, since we did like the Travis Baldree books, and there is like a Better Business Class Bookshops and Bone Dust, since that was specifically related to bookshops, it's like, we don't have any pets in the store, but there is quite a bit to be said for, you don't think about how messy things get in the store. Like, you just kind of go...
Dusty, you mean?
Well, not only dusty, but, like, things that just pile up.
Mm. Like all of the junk mail from all of the people who are advertising the product that they want to sell in your store.
Or just, like... At our store, we do what are called buybacks, where people can bring in their
gently used
books. And then
sometimes not so gently.
Well, then we generally choose to not stock them if they're roughly used.
But then we give them essentially in-store credit that they can use to buy new books, which makes their new books much, much cheaper, which helps us. And also gives us books that we can sell at a lower price point for...
Builds inventory for future customers.
Yeah, for used books. And especially there are some, sometimes we get in some really high demand books. Sometimes we get some delightfully bizarre books in. Like, we just got a copy of The Wars of Julius Caesar in Latin.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Or the Gallic Wars by Julius Caesar. And so it's like from 1928 or 1930 something.
And it's a book in Latin.
It was originally a school book, so the text is above, and then it has helps for the reader
to translate it.
That parses all.
Cool.
So it's a super cool book.
We also got a book about learning Gaelic.
Yes, and it was even Scottish Gaelic, right? Which that one, you're not going to find that one just everywhere.
It's true. With it,
and
you never know what you're going to find up in our used books.
We also got a book. This is from Friends of the Library, which we also consign for our local library here, which helps us and it also helps them. But it's a little handbook. It looks like, like a little black book or like one of those. It's like, I don't know, 5 inches tall by 4 inches wide. It is a complete guidebook for the American Radiator Company, and it shows every different radiant heat radiator. It's
like a catalog?
It's like a spec guide, so you know how much.
Yeah,
because there's
I looked at that one. It was weird. I'm like, what is this?
And that goes along with the Steam. What is it?
Yeah, there were 2 of them that had radiators and heaters.
Well, one was a big textbook because if you aren't really careful with radiant heat, you just made a bomb.
It's true. When Lance and I were first married, we lived in a house. It was a beautiful old house, but it still had a boiler and radiators, and we nearly blew ourselves up before we got a technician in there to help, because it was like, you know how, what is it that the frog doesn't know he's being boiled to death because it like gradually happens. And so like there was a mild gas leak happening in our house. But I was at home all the time, and so I didn't like smell it or realize that it was happening.
Notice, yeah.
And Lance notoriously does not have the best sensory inputs.
I don't smell good.
Anyway, so it was like I had to leave the house and go out and do things and come back in the winter time, which we had small children at the time. So I also wasn't leaving the house all that often. You know, in the winter, you don't take kids. Anyway, and came back in and I was like, there is definitely a gas leak smell in here. And so we called the gas company. They were like, yeah, you guys almost blew yourselves up.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but going back to...
I'm glad that you didn't.
Yeah.
The
Life could have been very different.
The wonderfully bizarre books that we have that come in through used are like...
What about the New York Times one?
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
We didn't keep those, though.
No, actually,
They're still in the back
we are
room.
backing out of that deal. We still have them in the store, but that is because our friends at the Emporia Gazette are renovating the Gazette building and making it into a destination space and an art space, and Union Street Social is going to be
Making a new restaurant there.
And so it's going to be quite the deal. And they are going to be coming to look at those. And we kind of just stepped out of that arrangement. We just kind of arranged for them to talk directly.
That's what I meant by we weren't hanging on to them.
But you didn't explain what they were even.
They are fully bound New York Times. One is 1944, and it's January 1st to the 15th. And it is probably 2.5 inches thick. And it is every page from... through the 1st through the 15th in January 1944.
And it's amazing, fascinating to look at because the headlines are so different from headlines now, and the advertisements are so different from advertisements now, and the photos of the people are just...
And the format is huge.
It's huge
huge
broadsheets used to be big.
Yeah.
The other one's from
book,
1950, and that one's actually several months in 1950, but it's still not really much bigger than the 14 days in January in 1944.
Both the books look similar in size, but yeah, one's just a couple weeks and one's a couple months. I suppose that was during the war, so there's probably a lot
more
to report
news,
on.
more was happening. But I also wonder why whoever saved them saved those 2 volumes in particular. If there were certain stories in there they were wanting to preserve.
Well, or why they had them bound.
Well, don't you think that was probably some library did that to store them?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Like
if you go, like when we visited the Anthony Public Library to take the books that they purchased from us, they had a whole section where there were like the bound magazines of a different, and I assume most libraries do that.
Archives would have... Like the archive of the New York Times would have those. Archive, like libraries would have them.
So it just makes me wonder why.
So how did they end up with these?
Right.
Yeah.
Like how this, because a local Emporia person found them in the attic of their house. So I just want to know the story. Someone needs to write a story about how and why those 2 books ended up in an attic in Emporia, Kansas. There's got to be a story there.
Hey, Debbie. Somebody asked me how to find us on the internets.
I don't know. I don't know how they use it. Megan, help.
If you just search Middle Ground Books, you should find us.
Really?
We have a Google business profile where you can click on our website. You can find our phone number to give us a call. And yeah, you can find our social media platforms that we are on, such as Instagram.
Could they text our phone number too?
You can text our phone number.
Okay.
We frequently text people when their books that they have ordered have arrived.
People can order books from us?
They can. They can.
What if they live in Sweden and they want to order books from us?
Well, they can go to our website and click the shop button, and that will take them to bookshop.org, where they can support our bookstore from afar and buy books online and have them shipped to them.
Can they buy ebooks if they don't want to wait on shipping?
They absolutely can. Bookshop.org now has ebooks. It's pretty incredible. If you are a fan of audiobooks, you can also click the link on our website for Libro FM and support our bookstore via purchasing audiobooks or subscribing.
Then I could listen in my car.
Yeah, it's pretty great. As always, you can find the links in the description of every episode.
Thank you to Cosmic Ron.
And when you use the links,
It makes our bookstore the one you're shopping through.
and you can start adding books to your library with ease.
So we were kind of starting out talking about the business and how bookshops and Bone Us from Travis Baldry, it did touch on the blind date with the book. It wasn't a blind date with the book.
I can't remember what they called it in the book. But yeah, they basically did blind date with the book, which, if you don't know what those are, they're books that have been wrapped up so you don't know what exactly you're going to be getting.
And I really
surprise.
kind of wanted to do one more like they do it, because it's metalworking and 18th century English poetry.
Combine them
Yeah,
into one book?
no.
Instead of blind date with the book, it's a marriage of two.
Yeah, because they did have some books that were if you like
they
this.
bundled two together.
Yes, in the book. I thought that was part of what they did. Was
I don't
if you
remember.
like this, well, here's two books that
We were
don't
listening to that on a road
necessarily
trip,
have
and
a
I
lot
was
to
in
go.
and out of sleep quite a lot. So I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, there are libraries that do that too. They'll wrap up the books, and so you don't know what you're getting. And then I've heard of them bundling books together too. But
So which two books would you put together, Debbie, that are maybe bizarre?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot. Can I think about it and get back to you?
What about you, Megan?
I don't. So you're wanting them to sort of somewhat have a connection and go
Have
together?
a tangential relationship?
Yeah, I
something
don't
that
know.
you say, there's somebody who's odd enough that would like these two books.
Both of these.
Oh. What you're wanting us to do is what a sommelier does, pairing wines with food, meals.
Yeah, sommelier that is here, this wine will pair with this.
Yeah. But you're wanting that in book form.
I'd have to do a little more thinking on it. Yeah, that's a lot to just spur of the moment.
It's a good idea. That sounds like a future episode.
Yeah, well,
of our podcast.
I frequently do some where they're a little more closely related, where if you liked this, you probably will also like this because it has some similar things. But as far as things that seem unrelated, but that takes a little more thinking about.
I'm wondering if you should cross genres, like a children's book and a horror, or a fantasy and a nonfiction history, or
Oh yeah, it could
there
be
would
done.
be
I
some
would just need to
close
think.
connections that
Or
you could do that way.
Neil Gaiman's story about the skateboarder wizard guy with the scar that came out, and then Harry Potter, and then what's the other one? Essentially Harry Potter knockoff, a little bit before or a little bit after Harry Potter. We've talked about it before. Charlie Bones.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
If you want to see, try to guess who ripped off who.
Yeah, but I could probably pull things that are pretty similar. I've done that before, where I'm okay, if you like this, you'll probably like this. But
I
as
don't
far as
understand
things
if you're asking for things that are similar. I thought you were asking for things that seem disparate but actually had a connection.
Yeah, or
that's
just
going to take a
anything
lot
to put
more
together.
thinking about, I think, than read-alikes. It could be done. I think I could do it. I just have to think about it more.
Here in the United States, we could do, a book about current events and true crime.
Gee, that's a big jump.
Current events in a dystopian.
Hellscape.
Yeah.
Wow, another huge jump.
The thing that I thought you pointed out in the episode before last, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, was in these fantasy realms, there's not monopolies that crush the life out of small businesses, and there's not government regulation that crushes the life out of these businesses.
Makes it more difficult for them to get going, yeah.
And there's not 20,000 pages of licensure, and there's not credit approvals and all that other stuff. And I'm very grateful. We have a fabulous relationship with our bank, Emporia State Bank, a family-owned local bank, and they are freaking amazing. And if this sounds like an advertisement, it might as well be, because they're awesome. They have done so good for us. And I really thought I hated bankers.
Wow.
But this is like a small family-owned.
They're humans,
Like they're not
all
like
of them.
Well, and they're invested in making sure that Emporia thrives.
But I thought that point about, there's no Amazon, and it's this, this perfect little thing. So for us as a business, like, was there anything that, like, either from Bookshops and Bone Dust or from Legends and Lattes that was like, that's pretty good business advice? Anything that you thought, wow, that is absolutely terrible business advice?
I mean, they did give free samples at the beginning. Well, and just in general, that's a tried and true business practice. There was a time when I basically went to Sam's Club every Saturday because I know I'd get nice snacks.
Yeah. And you probably found stuff that you purchased as well.
Well, if nothing else, it made it like took the edge off my hunger so that I stayed longer and shopped more and bought more stuff.
Yeah.
So, and also they have entertainment come to the cafe. They have live music that comes in and that brings in more customers. So
we had that on Sunday.
Well, we had live music on Saturday,
yeah.
but we also try to play pleasing music at all times in the background to help people be more relaxed and stick around longer.
Author events in Bookshops and Bone Dust, they just happen to have this, like, world-renowned romance author
Right down the road. How
who
convenient.
just happened to live, like, right there.
Well, it was a secret that that's who they were. Like, they were kind of trying to hide from the world. And they were somewhat hesitant to come and do anything at the store, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think they really wanted to be doing public events.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me because I feel like a lot of book lovers and therefore a lot of writers are kind of naturally introverted. So,
Yep.
Gretchen Schreiber has been in a number of times, and we've had a bunch of authors in from Metamorphosis Literary Agency, again, who Stephanie Hansen is the bomb. She is pretty amazing and runs a really tight ship and does a good job for her cadre of authors. But yeah, we haven't... It's really kind of a hit and miss thing for us with author events.
Yeah, we've had some that we have great attendance and goes over super well. And then there's others where we don't have very many people. So
and it's very disappointing because I feel like even those that have a smaller in-person attendance, the things that the authors share have been very interesting.
They've been
and
great
worthwhile.
events. They just they didn't have high attendance.
Maybe we need to be giving free samples at the events.
We kind of do.
We already do. I mean,
I know. I'm just trying to think about what you asked me to think about.
We talked about the bookshop or the trading cards simulator. Like, I don't think there's an LLC meeting in either of those. And for those of you listening along, we really do try to have regular LLC meetings. And it sometimes doesn't go so easily.
It's hard to have time to sit down and plan because we're in the thick of doing all the things. And so to have time to plan and like cast a vision for the future, that's...
Planning really sucks because it has to be in advance. If we could do it like for last week...
That's it. We need a time machine. No,
we
need a time machine.
We need a TARDIS.
We go forward and be like, wow, that was a really cool event that we had. So then we can go back and plan it because we've already seen it because it's already done. This is a great idea.
Yeah. Someone should invent a time machine.
Yeah, and then you could tell your authors, like, go ahead and tell your authors to tell their characters not to do the stupid things.
Right. You could tell them instead of yelling at the book and them ignoring you.
Mm-hmm.
So the best perk of being business owners, like now, podcast is kind of fun. Like this is like nothing works for advertising. I think we figured that out. That
Well, nothing we've tried so far. We haven't tried everything.
like put little sweatshirts on pigeons for middle.
There's not a giant pigeon population. Maybe we should try stray cats, squirrels. We have a lot of squirrels in Emporia.
And just put little middle ground books.
I feel like we do
sweatshirts
have
on 'em.
pigeons, though. Look at all those feathers that end up in our store.
It's because of the vortex.
Yeah, but
The bank
you remember there's some
drive-through
nights,
next-
there's some evenings
Those
that you hear all those
are-
birds.
those feathers are from fairies, Megan.
Oh, right. I forgot.
The fairies come and visit our store after.
I imagined all those bird sounds outside.
That's unrelated.
But for anyone else who
We
may
hear
be
trains outside all the time, but we don't have train debris in the store.
thinking of opening a business, especially a bookstore, how important is the cafe? Because I just spent all day working in the cafe. We just got a proper make table that's a refrigerated table for making paninis and all the things. And we had to move everything around. In most of the like bookshops and Bones Just and Legends and Lattes and like lots of other places, the food component is pretty important. Do you think the cafe is like yay or nay?
I think it's more having comfortable spaces. Mm-hmm. And if the cafe is a comfortable space for people to hang out, meet their friends, then yes, it's important. If it's a cafe space like in downtown Chicago where there's literally a guard watching and telling you your 30 minutes are up and you have to go, then that's not going to be beneficial. So I guess I'm not strictly answering your question. Again, for me as a shopper, I like to have a little snacks because then I can extend the time that I shop. And I think we do see that with some customers that, you know, they'll get a cup of something or a small snack and then they stay longer and shop more and buy more. Other people, they are there on a mission specifically to find a certain book and they find it and they go. It depends on the shopper and their style of shopping.
And maybe what else they have going on that day.
For sure,
So
yeah.
they might stay longer other times, but
I know, like, when we were planning for the bookstore and setting it up, everybody that we talked to, what I got from them was, you're going to have comfy chairs and comfy places to sit down, right? So it was more about feeling at ease and at home and having somewhere to relax. So if they find sitting in the cafe with a cup of something relaxing, then it's very important. If they like the easy chair hidden in the corner upstairs behind the shelves where no one else can see them, then that's what's important.
Maybe we need to get the clawfoot bathtub to bring to the store.
no.
Yep. In the children's area, that would be great. Well, not in the children's area. I'll find a place for it. I'm good at manipulating spaces and furnishings.
We could do it. Is it Harry the Dirty Dog? Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah, but like where?
Trust me.
I have good memories of reading in the bathtub because our first grade teacher had, it was our second grade teacher had a bathtub and everybody wanted to read in the bathtub.
The elementary school where I formerly worked, one of the kindergarten teachers had it, and it was like for their classroom dojo, they could earn rewards for following rules and whatever, and that was one of the things that was a possible reward. Kids liked it. If we want to make that happen, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and if you're listening along, you think, a bathtub would be awesome. Just send us a message at admin@middlegroundbooks.com, or you could message us on any of the socials. What are the socials, Megan?
At Middle Ground Books.
At Middle Ground Books. And what are our socials?
Like what platforms are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and MySpace. Don't look at our MySpace. There's nothing on it. It's useless.
Nothing yet. We're still learning.
Post a picture of the bathtub.
Oh, absolutely. Like that. So, Megan, have you finished your Sarah J. Maas book?
No.
All right. Have you gotten up to 350 pages?
I'm at like 400 something.
And how many are there?
900. I don't know. Like I'm not even halfway yet. I'm almost halfway.
And Debbie, how's your Goblin book coming?
I actually finished it today. It was good. I mean, it's one of those tropes, but as I mentioned earlier, it also does have some surprising things and things that make you think. And it was really, really enjoyable. I highly recommend it for anyone who is a long-standing fan of fantasy, anyone who enjoys enemies to lover romance. Yeah, it was very fun, and it does also talk about food and other cozy things like that, but it does get a little intense before the end, so I don't know, I guess it's still cozy, but there was some conflict and blood.
Just a little bit. It's fine.
Just a little bit. It's okay. And now I'm going to start listening to My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney, which is our mystery book club pick. We will be discussing it in the store on the third Tuesday, which I believe will be March 17th. So you can...
St. Patty's Day.
It's true. So come wearing green so you don't get pinched. But you can find it as an ebook on bookshop.org, or you can get an audiobook version of it on Libra FM, and we have ordered some copies in for the store, so we'd love to have you join us for our mystery book club on March 17th, My Husband's Wife.
And what else are you reading, Megan?
I started an audiobook. I'm going to not remember the title because it's a bit strange. I have to bring it up here. It's a recent release, just came out. Agnes Auber's Mystical Cat Shelter. It's by Heather Fawcett, who also wrote the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have not read those, but I've heard such good things, and they're on my TBR. But I picked this one up as an advanced listening copy, so I've been listening to it, and it's, I think, also kind of a cozy fantasy. The cover of the book is beautiful, so that's kind of, it has cats on it. It looks very Art Nouveau, and it's got magic. So I was like, yep, sign me up. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's on my TBR also.
I'm not very far into it, but my book that I'm going to read next, my physical, I need to read the book club book for my book club, the fantasy book club that we're doing.
And what's that title?
Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. And yeah, my copy hasn't arrived yet, so I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to have time to read it.
Uh-oh. Maybe get an ebook version.
I might have to.
And what are you reading, though?
As usual, I have just a perplexing...
You have so many books you're in the middle of.
So many books I'm in the middle of.
I can't do that. I just don't understand.
Interestingly enough, I'm still plugging away on Beowulf. This Saturday, upcoming, the last Saturday in February, will be our last Beer and Beowulf featuring Radius Beers.
February 28th, correct?
Yes, February 28th. And for the assembled masses who will either enjoy Beowulf, Old English, or beer, or some combination of those things, people have kind of been not thrilled with Beowulf. And today, no, it was 2 days ago, had a young man come in, and he wanted an old Bible in English. And specifically, he wanted an old Bible with the Old Testament, because he had heard it's very different from the New Testament, which he had. And he specifically wanted an old book.
So not a newer translation?
Like medieval English? Like he wanted King James, or older than that?
I think he was looking for a King James, and so we will come up with a King James. But books like Beowulf or the Old Testament, or let's say the Quran, or the teachings of the Compassionate Buddha, or any number of different texts.
Canterbury Tales?
That was in Old English, right?
I think Canterbury is in middle.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I knew it wasn't, yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just trying to think of other examples.
But I've also been reading some books in other languages, and there's an old Czech proverb that as many languages as you know, that many times are you a man or a person, a human. That for as many languages as you know, that many ways do you have to look at the world, because things are different. And you're, a fish doesn't know he's wet. And having people, especially this young person, who what he was really interested in was a different way of looking at the world, and a non-Western way of looking at the world, an older way of looking at the world. And so, like Beowulf it can be pretty challenging. And frequently there are parts that drone on and on and on. And then commentary is so necessary, especially for Beowulf, that there's so much that, I just can't understand without having a commentary. But getting kind of out of the Western set, I think when you've been reading your different books that are by Japanese authors or Chinese authors, that kind of comes at it from a different direction as well.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying that.
And also, kind of in that line, I've been listening to a book by Mike Pitts called Island at the Edge of the World, which is Easter Island. And he essentially is setting out to correct lies about the civilization of Easter Island and the commonly held misbelief that essentially they turned toward cannibalism and because they had deforested the island and killed everything there, when in actual fact it was Western colonialists who essentially destroyed the island and the civilization and the people there. So I'm not very far into it, but it is so far an interesting read and is thought-provoking. I
don't know much about Easter Island apart from the big statues. That's it. That's all I know about it.
I think that's probably what most people know
Which
about
makes me think of the Pukul men in The Lord of the Rings.
Also, How They Get You by Chris Kohler. I've been listening to that one, and that one is
it's probably timely, but
depressing. And it's written from an Australian point of view, and he talks about like paying $27 for a chicken sandwich, and I was like through Uber, and it's like, okay, it's bad here, but it's not $27 chicken sandwich bad here yet.
Yet.
Yeah, we're working on it. So, if you're curious about what's coming up in March, so are we.
Yeah, we are too.
It's going to be Irish Heritage Month.
It's also Women's History Month.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So maybe we should center on Irish women.
Oh, yeah.
Like your mother?
Has your mom written a book, Lance?
I just think we need her face on a t-shirt.
Sure.
Celebrate the Irish women.
Flannery O'Connor, gotta be Irish, right?
That sounds Irish, but what do I know?
I remember reading a book as a child about an Irish pirate lady, and I was like, this is awesome.
There's an Irish lullaby.
So you sang, so we can now call this episode complete, because up until now, it just hasn't been complete.
Right. It was missing that special something, and that something is Debbie singing.
And I'm really happy about it. So,
I don't know how to feel about this.
So, hopefully, by our next episode, we'll know what's going on in March, because it will be March.
Mm.
And if not, we'll do some of that retrospective planning.
Yeah.
So that
when we get our time machine.
By April, we'll be able to tell you what happened in March.
Maybe the doctor will help us. Are you listening? We need your help, doctor.
We need the TARDIS.
So until next time.
We'll meet you in the middle.
Hey, I'm Lance from Middle Ground Books. You've been listening to Middle Ground Books After Hours with Deborah, Megan, and me. Frankly, you might deserve a medal for that action. Come see us at the store at 606 Commercial Street in Emporia. The store is a little like an introvert's fever dream. You're always welcome, and we'll always be glad to see you. Middle Ground Books After Hours is produced and remotely engineered by Cosmic Adam Sound Studios, producing the vision and making a sound. Cosmic Adam Sound Studios. Let's come together and build something new. Many thanks for hanging out with us this time, and until next time, we'll meet you in the middle.
Grace O'Malley. I mean, that's not how it's actually said. That's the English version. But She was a pirate lady around the time of Queen Elizabeth. I read a book in the library in Belleville about her, and I was like, this is cool.